Colts, welcome back to Coral Springs High School. I'm Mr. Marhefka, the 9th grade assistant principal, and we're going to welcome you back today to phase 2 of e-learning, where you have face-to-face instruction with your teachers. We have a lot of different safety protocols and practices that we have put in place to ensure your safety as well as our safety. Colts, upon your arrival in the morning, if you are a walker from the east down Sample Road, or if you're being dropped off by a bus, you will proceed down the walkway that you see here, maintaining your 6 feet of physical distancing with your mask on, and entering the main entrance and going through the cafeteria doors. Colts, if you're a walker coming from the west, or if you're a bike rider, you will proceed down this walkway, making sure you're maintaining that physical distance of 6 feet with your mask on, and you will proceed to the main entrance, entering into the cafeteria. If you are arriving either from the west or from the east, whether it be a bike rider, walker, or school bus rider, you'll proceed through these gates. Please make a note of our signs that we have on the ground to make sure you maintain that physical distance of 6 feet. You're going to walk through here. We ask that you have your ID as well as your face mask at all times. As you can see, to remind you, we have the signage up that is requiring you to wear a face mask at all times. You'll enter through these doors and be directed where to go upon arrival. Colts, although everything that we're showing you today is very important, this sign here is one of the most. And that says, if you don't feel well, stay at home. We want you to feel safe. We want everyone else in our school communities to feel safe. So if you wake up and have any symptoms of illness, please stay home. You can still continue your e-learning at home and you won't be marked absent. So please abide by this sign. Colts, this is an example of an overflow room. So if you're ever directed to one of the overflow rooms, please make sure that you sit in a chair or a table that has this marking on it so you can maintain that physical distancing. Colts, upon your arrival in the morning, if you're being dropped off by a car by a parent or guardian, you will proceed through the parent loop, get out of your car, and walk in through the west end doors. Please remember to maintain that 6 feet of physical distancing and always have your mask. So upon your arrival, students, if you are a student driver, you'll be parking in the student parking lot, and your point of access, both upon arrival and at dismissal, will be through this double wide gate, either walking onto campus or exiting to campus. Again, we ask that you please maintain that 6 feet of social distancing at all times to keep you and our school community safe. Colts, now I'm going to explain to you the procedures for lunches. If you are bringing your lunch, you will just come in and take a seat at one of the desks in the cafeteria. But if you're going to be taking advantage of our free lunches, you will line up on these 6 feet social distancing signs. And when it's your turn, you are going to enter the cafeteria through this door. You will note that you'll see a lot of marking to dictate where you're going to be standing. Along the rail here, every 6 feet, we have an orange hash mark that you'll be standing. You'll be walking through, and at this last station right here, you will be getting your pre-packaged lunch. Unfortunately, in these times, there's not going to be different choices for lunch. There's going to be one standard prepackaged lunch that you will receive. Once you take your tray, you're going to walk around and exit over here. With all of our new protocols, one thing that is very important is the fact that many things are one way in and one way out, as well as the traffic patterns. So you have your lunch, you'll continue to maintain that physical distancing of 6 feet, and then when you get down here to the cashier, all you have to do is wave. You're not going to have to scan an ID or punch in a code. Wave to the cashier and proceed out to the cafeteria. At that point, you'll be directed to take a seat at one of these desks. Students, once you have your lunch and you sit down at your desk, you're able to remove your face covering while you eat. But remember, we need you to stay seated in your desk, and once you finish eating, you're going to remain here until you are dismissed, and we ask that you put your face covering back on. Colts, now I'm going to talk to you about your passing time from class to class and the rules and protocols that must be followed while you're out in the hallways. Just as there's rules on the road, we have rules in the hallway. So all traffic will be one way, and we have to make sure that we follow the signs that are posted on the floor and the directional arrows that you are going to see. So just make sure that you are constantly looking at the signs to direct your flow of traffic. So Colts, as you can see, if you come to an intersection or a place that you're not sure, just look at the floor and follow the arrows. We tried to make it as simple as we could to maintain safety and physical distancing. So you see the arrows that direct you down to this hallway, and then you'll just follow the signs. Always look for the green arrows. So as you saw, the signs that were posted out here shows that this is a up traffic stairwell. So all traffic will still maintain the 6 feet of physical distancing and walk up the steps. And remember, it's very important that you always look for the signs. You saw them at the bottom of the stairwell, and at the top, if you looked in, you would see this green sign that shows traffic flows this way. Colts, throughout the school, you're going to see a lot of signage, a lot of directional arrows in order to maintain your safety and security. There's 3 right now that are most important that I want to focus on. The first one being the physical distancing. At all times, we're going to need you to maintain that 6 feet of physical distancing. The next one is the face covering that is required over the nose and mouth at all times. So when you put on your mask, you want to make sure it covers your nose and your mouth. We don't want to see this. We don't want to see this. This is what we want to see. And lastly, we need to frequently wash our hands. The CDC has proven that frequent hand washing definitely cuts down on the spread of COVID-19. So you want to make sure that you use soap and water and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. So Colts, as we just talked about, it's very important to wash your hands. So I want to do a quick demonstration of how to properly wash your hands and for how long you should wash your hands. You want to make sure that you wet your hands, use plenty of soap, and then wash for 20 seconds. While you're doing that, make sure you are getting in your fingernails, where your fingers come out of your hands, the back of your hands, and really rub vigorously to make sure that you're killing all that bacteria. You want to do that and make sure that you do 20 seconds. They say if you sing happy birthday twice, that will be sufficient. I think that's been about 20 seconds. I'm rinsing my hands. And what I like to do is use the back of my hand to turn off the water. And there you have it. So Colts, remember, the one and only time that you can walk against the directional arrow is at dismissal, because all of the traffic will be exiting campus. Whether you are a walker or bike rider and exit through the band hallway, or if you are a bus rider and exit through the main cafeteria doors, or if you're a car rider and you exit through the west end, or if you drive yourself to school, you'll be exiting out the double gate between the weight room and the 10 building, and all traffic is going out at that time. So we've covered a lot today as to what your school is going to look like during phase 2 in-person of e-learning. We want to make sure that you understand all of these new protocols and procedures. They're put in place to keep our entire school community safe. So if you ever have questions about anything, ask an adult on campus and they'll be glad to assist you. And at this time, I'd like to throw it over to our proud principal, Ms. Suarez, for a few remarks.
Hi, Colt family. This is Ms. Suarez, your proud principal. I'm here, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Marhefka for showing you all the new practices and protocols that we have in place to ensure that you are safe. Remember, Colts, that we need to make sure that we use, see, a little hand sanitizer every time to make sure that we are disinfecting our hands. Make sure that we're following all the directional arrows. Make sure that you are sanitizing your desks. Again, make sure that you arrive to school with a mask, with your fully charged laptop and charger. Again, we're doing everything to ensure that you remain safe and that our faculty and staff remain safe. So again, I want to make sure to welcome you back to phase 2 of e-learning, face-to-face with your instructors in your classroom. Again, welcome back. I'm so proud to see all of you. Remember, we are Colts Strong and Colts United.